Hi guys, and welcome to this video. It's the last reaction in this Bruce Lee was Superhuman video. Yeah, so I'm just going to get straight into it and then talk about more at the end, I think.
Probably would have made a killing. Number 2, he was unpunchable. Bruce Lee's
Unpunchable.
chops as a martial artist became obvious pretty quickly, but for some reason, quite a lot of people still needed to be convinced. Even though he had become a world-renowned name by the 1960s, Bruce would always be challenged to street fights.
No.
Many people in that time just needed some convincing, or perhaps they just loved being hit. Who really knows? While Bruce mostly shrugged off the challenges, there were certain times when he had to actually show exactly how good that he was, and wow, were people convinced. While on the set of Enter the Dragon, Bruce was challenged to a fight, and he obliged. And when he went on to take his opponent apart, dodging every single blow that was thrown at him, he eventually locked his opponent in a submission against a wall.
What?
Then, when he was
I've never heard that
finished,
in my life.
the always magnanimous Bruce Lee still gave a lesson in combat. Kicking someone's butt and teaching them how you did it? Well, that's a swell guy indeed.
You know, had
Number
fights
1,
on set and that.
he dislocated someone's shoulder with a slap.
What
So at
the
this
hell?
point, we've pretty much covered Bruce's insane feats of strength and the fact that his slender frame did not do him any justice. But just in case you still doubt how strong that he was, maybe this will do it for you. Despite the fact that he was obviously stronger than everyone else and needed to get special equipment just to
Obviously
train,
stronger
there
than
were
everyone
still
else.
times when Bruce had to spar with actual people. I'm not sure why anyone in their right mind would see Bruce Lee and say, hey, that's the guy I want to spar with, but I guess that some people really believed in themselves in the 1960s. Anyways, it's been reported that Bruce Lee once dislocated someone's arm in training. Now keep in mind that the victim
Never heard
couldn't
that
just
report,
have been
like, ever.
anybody. He must have
No
been
one
a
else
highly
has
trained
either.
martial artist himself who probably thought that he had the stones to go one-on-one with the great one. But still, though, Bruce Lee dislocated his entire shoulder. As the reports would go, Bruce was quite confused when he was confronted after the altercation. According to him, he didn't even hit the guy very hard. And what many thought to be a punch was in fact more of a light slap. Once again, I don't know how hard it is to learn, but don't go within hitting distance of Bruce Lee. Considering the many feats that he managed to pull off in his lifetime, it's easy to see why many would remember Bruce Lee as the greatest martial artist who ever lived. But perhaps the reason why he became so good at combat was the fact that he was just not a normal human being. I'm really not sure why many people decided to still get within striking distance of him, but at least they were the living proof that we all need that he was a demigod that walked among us. Which of these feats shocked you the most? Tell me all about it in the
quite a
comment
few
section
actually, because
down
most
below.
of them weren't real anyway. Oh dear. Hey guys, so that was the last video, the last reaction video of that Bruce Lee was Superhuman. So, like I said in the first video, the reason I'm doing this is because everyone who follows me knows that, you know, Bruce Lee, I've followed Bruce Lee since I was a little kid, researched about his life, his films, his martial art, which is probably the most interesting for me, etc. But the reason I'm doing this, it might sound like I'm about to slag him off, and oh no, that's not true, he couldn't do that, but I hate it when people say he can do things like, oh, he's the fastest man alive. Well, who says? You know, and then people look at that and think, oh, well, that's rubbish, and then they think, oh, he's actually a load of crap, he couldn't do anything. So I'm here to correct you guys, okay? First thing on that video was unpunchable. Who says he was unpunchable? In fact, it's on record he got punched several times. He had a high school boxing match in Hong Kong, which he was losing, I'm led to believe. He had rooftop fights in Hong Kong when he was a kid. One of the stories which he was losing one of them, but then got back up and supposedly won. And anyway, obviously later in life, as he got better and better, who says he was unpunchable? Anyway, well, it says he was known by the well-known in the 1960s. No, he wasn't. Certain people in America would have watched The Green Hornet, which came out, I think, around 1967. So that's late 60s, and that ran for one season, and he was the sidekick. Now, when that came out in Hong Kong, it kind of took off, and even though he was the sidekick of the main character, the Green Hornet character, I guess because he was Chinese, he was kind of the main star in Hong Kong. But even then, it wasn't till the 1970s when he made the Big Boss, and from then on, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon, all that, that he was well known. And even then, that was in Hong Kong. If you took Bruce Lee, even after he made Way of the Dragon, and he was a mega star in Hong Kong, I don't think many people in America or the West had heard of him. It was only till he made Enter the Dragon, then he died, then it was released and he became this worldwide star, right? So when it says he was known by the 1960s, well known throughout the world, whatever he said, complete rubbish. No, he wasn't. Yeah, so what have I got here? I wrote some notes here because there's so much wrong with it, okay? Yeah, so it said he had a fight on Enter the Dragon. Well, that's well known. There are conflicting stories about it, what exactly happened. Some say this stunt extra challenged him and said, "Oh, you're not a real martial artist and all that, blah blah blah." So some say it was a test of speed. So he said, "Oh, I'll give you a chance to punch me like 3 times," and then he supposedly done it, couldn't touch Bruce. So then Bruce Lee said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it 1 time," and then supposedly hit the guy and like knocked some of his teeth out. There's other people say, "Oh, he had a quick sparring match," and then this extra, "Oh yeah, you're the real deal, you know, I'll back off." But yeah, no one knows. But as for this Enter the Dragon, he dodged every punch this guy threw at him. Well, was he there watching it? And you can't dodge. Anyone who knows, you don't even have to be an expert on martial art. Anyone who either been in a fight or has done any martial art training, knows you cannot. Some guy comes in and throws 5-10 punches at you, with forward pressure, I might add. You ain't gonna dodge. You might be lucky you dodge 1. You'll get clobbered by the second. Made him submit. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Anyway, next one, stronger than everyone else. Like, well, to me, he was the greatest martial artist at the time. Up to that point as well, although there were no records kind of, before that, no video records, so you couldn't really tell. And ever since he died, I think there's people who've passed him in certain aspects, but not as a whole, in my opinion. But stronger than everyone else. Well, could he go in weightlifting, elite level weightlifting, and win that? Could he enter that World's Strongest Man competition and win that? Where's that come from? No, he wasn't stronger than anyone else. This is the kind of rubbish that's spouted on, and people think, "Oh, that's complete rubbish," which it is. But yeah, this needs to be called out. Dislocated someone's shoulder. Yeah, that I've never heard of in my life. He could have had a sparring match with his students. I heard Danny DeSanto, I think he said it was his birthday or something, and Bruce said to him, "Oh, we have a sparring match." He was like, "All right," and Bruce kind of winded him, kind of knocked him back, said, "Oh, it's for your birthday" or something, and I handed him a birthday cake or something. As for dislocated someone's shoulder, yeah, I've no idea on that either. So pretty much generally, there's a few points in that whole video that are well-known fact. I'd say probably 78% of it is crap, or it's based off what happened, and then someone who doesn't know something has read something and then kind of put their own spin on it. Okay, so please, basically what I'm saying is, if you're new to him, I mean, most of you probably couldn't give a monkeys, but if you're new to him or you're interested in getting to know his films, martial art films in general, kung fu films, are you interested in martial art, whatever it is, don't watch this stuff. Beardy is the biggest. Anyone who knows in the Bruce Lee world about Beardy, he's got the biggest load of views on YouTube. Okay, fair play to him. But every single video I've watched, it makes this video look like you know, a Superhuman video look fucking accurate. You know, it's so ridiculous. And ask anyone who's one of these experts in Bruce Lee about it. They'll tell you instantly it's a complete load of rubbish. Anyway, so I'm done on this, so I'm just going to keep ranting, okay? So, until the next video, guys, yeah, see you then and take care.